closely at that issue.
Do you think Putin is testing you?
No.
Are you frustrated with Senator Manchin's sentiment, Mr. President?
The president there denying that Russian leader Vladimir Putin is testing him with new cyber hack attacks that have been blamed on Russian actors. Here to discuss, former Trump Deputy National Security Advisor KT McFarland, also author of this book on your screen, Revolution. KT, thanks for joining us this morning.
It's always good to be with you, Emma. Thank you.
Great to see you. Okay, I'll ask you the question that the president was asked. Are these cyber attacks a test?
Of course they are. You know, every new president gets tested, and President Biden is no exception. Even though he says, well, he's been around these people for 30 or 40 years, they're always testing. And in this case, because Russia's testing, China's testing, Iran is testing, they're all testing at once. And what they're all seeing is very little pushback. Good words, tough words, but not tough actions. So I think as a result, I mean, in my experience of 50 years in this business, national security diplomacy is like a shark tank. And the minute the shark sense blood in the water or any sense of weakness in their prey, they all go at it at once. And so I think you're seeing China testing, Russia testing, Iran testing, and you're going to see more of it.
You mentioned it's being responded to with words. Of course, the question would be what action should follow it? And for those at home who are wondering what the White House is doing to protect us from these future cyber attacks, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki putting it on the private sector. Take a look at how she responded.
Attack that we've seen over the last couple of days, and certainly following the attack that we saw several weeks ago, is also a reminder to the private sector about the need and the importance of hardening their own cybersecurity protections, of investing in and putting in place protections in their own systems.
Is that the most effective action the White House can take when it comes to protecting these industries that impact Americans? I'm thinking fuel, and most recently with this meat processing plant, your food as well.
You know, they're not going to get away with just blaming it on the private sector. The private sector does need to beef up its defenses and its cyber defenses. A senior, cybersecurity expert, someone who's a national known cybersecurity expert, once told me, she said, you know, most companies, they don't want to spend the money. It's really expensive to do cyber defenses of your own company. So what they do is they buy insurance, they apologize after the fact, maybe they have to pay ransomware, but they figure it's easier and cheaper to do that than take the methods and really the big expense they need to do to harden them. And without some kind of a government certification or government protocol that companies have to follow, you know, companies are going to look at their bottom line. They're going to say, oh, it's easier, it's cheaper. So yes, she has a point. Jen has a point. On the other hand, the federal government needs to get involved. Because one of the things I found when I came into the Trump administration was that the attitude of government was, well, we don't want to have cyber offensive capabilities because that would be too provocative. We'll just have defensive capabilities. Well, deterrence means that you have to say to the other guy, I'm going to hit you back even harder if you attempt something against me. That's deterrence. So without offensive cyber capabilities, the United States has very little ability to, you know, to tell these other countries, you better not do it because the response is going to be even tougher. So yeah, I think private sector, government sector, and frankly, I want to see those tech titans step up and help the United States government. The U.S. government can't do this alone. They're not good at this. I mean, we've tried, Republicans and Democrats. Silicon Valley has to step up to help, and they haven't so far, Emma.
What's going to happen on June 16th when President Biden is set to meet with Vladimir Putin?
You know, I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll all be nice, just happy talk. But Biden needs to not only say, but do. If I were going into that meeting or if I were counseling the president, I would say, you can't just say nice things and you can't just say tough things. You have to act. Here's how I would act. Vladimir Putin, you may pretend that you don't know anything about these cyber attacks because they're not being conducted by government officials, Russian government officials. Well, I don't believe that they're happening without at least your acknowledgement. So I'm going to put this back on you, Vlad. I'm going to say to you, we are assuming that you are responsible for these ransomware attacks unless you prove otherwise. Number two, you're not going to get a free ride of energy exports into Europe, into Germany particularly. We're going to stand up against the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. We don't want you to have a windfall profit. And then I do a carrot at the very end, Emma. I would say, look, President Putin, you know China's coming for you just like they're coming for us. So we have a way here, even though we're adversaries and competitors, we have a way we could work together to stand up to the Chinese encroachment. Otherwise, China wants to eat lunch, both of our lunches.
Well, we'll see if anyone from the Biden administration watching this interview and takes away any of those
Think
free
I'll get
tips.
a call, Emma? I don't think so.
We'll wait and see. KT McFarland, always appreciate you picking up our phone call. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Emma. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.